Aloha, everyone.
Aloha.
That was a funny little hiccup there. And I see that Heather, Soul Alchemy with Indigo Jaguar, was in like 45 minutes ago. Hi, Heather. Welcome.
Yeah, it's funny when people hop in so early in the chat.
Well, I hope it's a wonderful show. I always enjoy my time with Sadhana, though. So,
Oh, she is here. Hi, Heather.
All right. So, let me do a little rearranging here. Today, we're playing with a deck that I actually backed the Kickstarter of, but it is now out in mass market. So I thought I saw Sadhana talking about the deck and kind of reviewing it and talking about the different aspects of it, and I thought it'd be a lot of fun to invite Sadhana on to play with the deck, do some readings, and end of summer, beginning of fall kind of readings is what I was thinking of. So, blessings, Fatima. So Heather says that she just wanted to say hi and make sure that Sadhana's channel link was in chat. Well, thank you for that. Oh, hi, Jen. How are you?
I was just talking about you today, Jen.
Well, we miss you too. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been. It's been a long while.
So, we were talking backstage a little bit about the difference in the cards. One of the biggest differences really is the guidebook. So the guidebook for the indie is not quite as nice as the guidebook for the mass market, which this is an amazing guidebook for mass market because usually you don't get these little hardcovers. And I mean, it's pretty much the same information. It just a little presented a little better in this case. And let me do that comparison I was doing with you, Sadhana. So this, let me embiggen me for a minute. Here. Oops. There we go. So this is the indie, and this is the mass market. The mass market is actually a little more saturated, I think. The indie, I think, is a little elongated because the indie is just a smidge taller than the mass market version. So, and yeah, I almost want to say the mass market, the background's a little lighter. So I don't know if you can even tell the difference there, but overall, I think they did a really good job of like, I mean, even the backs are the same. I feel like the mass market's a little, I don't know, the gilding is a little more matte, whereas the indie is a little more shiny. You can tell.
The color looks tiny bit different too.
Right. I feel like the mass market, the color is a little more saturated overall for like all the cards, but really on par with each other. The indie is just like a smidge thinner for shuffling, or I mean thicker, a little smidge thicker for shuffling. So it's still both are linen, both shuffle like a dream. So
yeah, this is I only have the mass market, and this is not standard US games cardstock. This is brilliant because I don't like US games cardstock. This is it's just beautiful. Yeah.
oh, quite a few people have popped in. Aloha, everyone. Sorry for missing. I was getting a little distracted by one of my favorite decks here. G Laddie is here. Aloha. Let's see. Janine Barnes. Ramon from Moonscarab. Aloha, Ramon. Hello, lurkers. and hello everyone who is watching the replay. So, yeah, how long have you been working with this deck, Sadhana?
I don't I got it and I kind of put it away. It was just I had too many new decks at the time. It was one of those situations. And I was looking for a Cancer season deck. And I think that's why I was talking about it.
Okay.
Because I really feel it's I love the artwork. I love the flow of everything in this deck. Like the branches flow, the ribbons flow. In the suit of swords, there's all kinds of little moons and things. I just feel like it's a really evocative. You know,
Right.
it's I don't know what to say.
There's just something about it, right? The art, the fact the art is like kind of expanding past its borders is amazing.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, this death card, I mean, wow. Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. And the other thing I really love about it is how it's kind of matte, but then there's these splashes of color,
Hmm.
right? And like you got it's kind of interesting though. Like wands is green, which is not something I necessarily think of for wands, but it makes sense with green growing things, right?
Hmm.
Um, the swords being red makes a lot of sense. The pentacles being that like orange, coppery orange makes sense, right? And even the cups being blue makes a lot of sense. So I don't know. It's very magical. It's very evocative. It's very like it feels old and futuristic at the same time. I don't know how else to describe it.
Hmm. And it has this sort of weird cultural twist to it. Fyodor Pavlov is a Russian immigrant that lives in New York, and yet
Right.
so there's this Eastern European Russian flair to it, and yet there's also sort of a Celtic tilt to it. There's some kilts in some of the cards. It has a really interesting blend of um, costume.
Yes.
And we have a kimono in this card.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Right.
it's
Whereas
kind
like the Nine
of
of Cups looks like very much a Viking almost.
mhm,
Right. So yeah.
yeah.
And one thing that's part of the deck that I don't know how many people actually know, in the Six of Cups, both figures are actually the artist.
Hmm.
So they were born female. They have transitioned into being a man. And so here they have their female child self with their masculine adult self. Right.
Wow, that's really I haven't read all the pages. That's really poignant.
And it's really that older self re comforting the inner child to let them know that everything's going to be fine, everything's going to work out for them, right? Their worries are not necessary. Yeah, pretty powerful stuff there. So I've been totally missing chat because I'm too enthralled with this deck. Um, Heather says that she saw this deck on Allison's channel and fell in love with it. Um, see. And then Heather also says that she wants the Tildwick, fell in love with the deck on Sadhana's channel. That's an amazing deck too.
A little more expensive to get to the US than this
Right.
one.
This one, just order off Amazon, really.
Or support your
Or,
local bookstore.
support your local, you know, brick and mortar.
Mhm.
So we are going to be doing some readings today. Um, I was thinking it would be. Wait, let me find these banners here. So a 2-card reading. The first card is going to be reflections on the summer or winter if you're in the southern hemisphere, and guidance for transition to the fall or spring if you're in the southern hemisphere. And it was just a just easy, fun little spread that I like to use in between seasons just to like prepare for the next season that's coming. And since this deck has pretty much all seasons in it, it just seemed kind of fitting. And just a reminder, readings are for entertainment purposes only. If you need professional assistance, please seek professional help. If you would like a reading, please put in the chat, me in all caps. Yes. Dee and Heather are chatting about Heather's move to Oregon. She'll be closer to me and closer to Sadhana. Actually, I think they'll be on the
same time zone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome, Diane G.
At the coast.
So our first reading is for Jen. And what I thought we'd do is we do the reading where I guess I'll do reflection, you do guidance. And then when we move to the next person, we'll switch positions.
So the reflection is on the present season and the guidance is moving forward?
Correct.
Okay.
So reflection on the lessons of summer and the guidance for the transition into fall.
Okay.
Aloha, Gerald, who is watching from the beginning at double speed to get caught up. This is a really, I gotta say, one of my favorite shuffles. Like, this deck shuffles like a dream. It just like, I mean...
All right, Jen, this is for you.
Oh, interesting, Jen. So I'm doing reflections of the winter, since she's in the southern hemisphere, right? So reflections of winter. For me, winters is a very nostalgic time of year, and you just happen to get the 6 of Cups that we were just talking about. Apparently, I wanted to pop out again. So your reflection for the winter here is, what were the lessons learned, right? What were the happy memories made? What were the things that helped guide you and your family to the next level, so to speak? So what is it that happened this winter, or for us this summer, that really helped grow your nostalgia together, right? Grow the memories of family time. And I feel like that is really what you should reflect on right now as you're moving into spring. Like, what was it that was so amazing during winter that you can then plant the seed of to get more of it going forward? So that's what I have for you.
So in that, you also have, as we were talking about this card, reflecting you as a protector of your younger self. The memories and all that you're cultivating in this winter season are also a way of rekindling a love and a care for the younger Jen. And in a way that is an empowerment, that is tremendous empowerment to take you forward. The card for the upcoming season is Strength. And this is such a powerful card in that it asks us to carry forth our complete self. The part of yourself, perhaps, that acts irrationally, the part of yourself that is sometimes loud or aggressive or the solar plexus shines through in a way that is shocking. But what this card does is it harmonizes all of that. It says it's okay to stand up and to lead and be forthright and be strong and aggressive if it's done with loving kindness. And I feel like there's some important lesson of loving kindness that's carried through to give you this power, to give you this confidence for something that you're going to need for the upcoming season.
Let's see those two together again. I also noticed the hands on the back of the girl and the back of the wolf, right? So it's I see this also as a reminder that your guides are there, their hand on your shoulder and on your back, helping to guide you. So take a moment sometimes just to pause and see if you can feel that hand on your back. That message just popped through really strongly when I saw that. So aloha, Madame Maru.
Hello, everybody coming in. She's wearing armor as well, too. And the thing about armor is that sometimes that level of protection is absolutely necessary. It can also give us, it's like wearing a cloak or wearing a costume or wearing like shamans wear a bear skin or something. It gives us the edge that we need to carry that energy through.
Right.
It's not a costume, so to speak. It's a form of empowerment. And so we simultaneously protect in order to strengthen from within.
That makes a lot of sense. And Jen says, Jonathan, Sadhana, that was definitely some food for thought and certainly resonates. I appreciate this greatly. And actually given me a good jumping off point to do some deep journaling on this. Oh, good. I like that. Okay. Next, we have Heather. And we will switch spots.
All right, this is for you, Heather, Indigo Jaguar. This is one of these cards in the deck that really embraces the flow of energy. I'm looking at the High Priestess card.
Ooh, pretty. Let me hide the current comments so you can see that better.
What I'm picking up on as a reflection of summer, Heather, is an honoring and an embracing of your alone time, your sacred time, your those moments where you decide for some bizarre reason you're just going to get up out of bed and head out for a walk in the moonlight because you know the stars are particularly beautiful tonight, or there's some, it's like sacred space is calling to you, that inner voice, that inner connection. And I would suggest that you continue to cultivate that inner connection to spirit in a very, just let it call to you and respond to how it calls to you. There's no right way to connect to that inner hearing, that inner voice. But it's wanting you to wander into the mystery a little more and to trust and let it, perhaps even let it flow. Like the flowiness of this deck really speaks, like letting that energy flow through to your, the more mundane sides of your world as well, too. So really, really listen. And I know she's seated. She's not wandering, but I feel like Look at how the right hand is up, the left hand is down. Does that particular gesture say something to you? I wonder. Right hand is action. Right hand is a call to action. Is she dancing? Is she flowing? I'm not sure what she's doing, but yeah, so.
Can you hold that up one more time?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the dichotomy here. We got the moon and the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And her right hand is raised, but his left hand is raised.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this flow between the two almost, or like it flows down through her left into his right and up out his left again towards the sun. So I'm feeling like if you are listening to the intuition, following that flow, grabbing the flow with your hands, that is where you're going to find your happiness, right? Is in the flow itself. So, and I know that it's interesting that you're going to be moving soon, right? So I feel like that move with both of these major arcana coming out is going to be a huge shift for you, like night and day, so to speak, right? So yeah, I mean, just I feel like you're doing what you need to do. You're listening to the intuition, you're following the flow towards happiness. And if you just continue doing what, you know, flowing with the flow, so to speak, then you will reach your ultimate goal of happiness. Finally, right? Finally shed that like veil of sorrow and angst that I feel like has been kind of overshadowing your life, and being able just to grab hold of happiness and let it flow through you. So, yeah.
It's like you're transitioning from dark to light. And yet you said you can't go out at night and wonder where you are. And yet remember that the moon is fully present in the daylight. The
Mhm.
moon and the sun are always present, regardless of the moon cycle, the time of year. So we can thank and honor the moon in the daytime as well.
Right. I'm connected to nighttime as part of my spiritual practice. You are so welcome, Heather. And right, those cards were so poetically connected. I love it. Yeah. Thank you, Heather. Next, we have Diane G. And we do still have some openings if anyone's in getting a reading. And Heather says, "Oh wow, Sadhana, I never would have thought of that. Thank you."
You're welcome.
Diane G. So reflections on this summer. Interesting enough, I have the Ace of Wands here for you. So I feel like there was something that was sparked this summer, some passion, some spiritual drive that you hadn't really even thought of before. And now it's like this torch you're carrying into the future. Um, you're really kind of diving into this passion, which is good. Um, and I just saw that wand turn into a paintbrush. So I don't know if you're thinking about being art, like getting into painting or being more creative, but I feel like there's a major call to like give life to that passion, that creative passion that might be blooming in you at the moment. So grab that wand, make that painting, carve the wand. I just saw you carving a wand somehow with like a stick and a knife, and you're just making a wand for yourself. So I wonder if that's what you've been doing this summer, focusing on creating magical tools, right? And using your creativity that way. Um, but I'm feeling like it's definitely like it's been a summer of major creative influence, major creative birthing. So, and hopefully that next card will continue that. Oh, aloha, Ginger.
Hello to everybody coming in. Welcome, Ginger. Tarot Your Way, is that I saw somebody use Thomas. Is that Thomas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Welcome. Okay. So I had this vision as well too, but I've lost the thought. So hopefully it will come back. Your transition card is the Hermit, which flows very beautifully into Virgo season. But it takes this energy. It's like the wand becomes the lantern on the crook. It flows from one card into the other. And so you take this inspiration, you take this creative project, and it becomes either more personal or it takes on more of a healing quality, healing your inner journey, healing your inner world. There's something here too about the direction of this hermit goes in the, I would say the not, can I say the non-standard direction of the hermit? So I want you to pay attention to which way and which direction you're going. There's something that feels significant here, almost as if the hermit has turned around and decided to go the other way. If you know what I mean. So most hermits go in the opposite direction. So I think there's something significant there. There is the crow on the shoulder, which carries this magical quality through from the Ace of Wands as well. And Jonathan's suggesting maybe you're carving a wand, or you are, I could see you getting very, it's like when I choose knitting needles, I love bamboo needles, and there's a certain quality of the texture of the wood that I'm using, and it's a multi-sensory experience. And so let this journey be multi-sensory as well. What I was thinking of when you were saying painting, Jonathan, you know those people that draw paintings of your soulmate?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like this creative project takes you into some deep interior, either of yourself or of others. This ability to, transcend worlds, transcend day and night, transcend in and out. Another unusual in this deck is the book. There's a book in the right hand. Is that your sketch journal? What does that book represent for you? Because we don't usually see a book in the Hermit card.
Book of poetry, maybe.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. And Diane says, not necessarily painting, but I have been embracing my spiritual side more and considering to take classes. I'm looking forward to the next season to develop my gifts more. That I love that, actually, because that kind of fits with the two cards together, right? You're finally grasping that wand, which the hermit carries, right? The staff. The wand becomes the staff, and the flame at the end becomes the lantern.
Mm-hmm.
So,
her costume, her clothing is very together. She's not tattered in any way. Like she's ready. She's prepared for this journey. She has a new outfit, a new shiny outfit. The laces are perfectly tied, like the new student ready to go back to school to study. And I use school, metaphorically speaking. And I like this turn in the new direction. I think that says something important.
mm-hmm.
So if you were you were planning on studying tasseomancy, but something comes up and you find yourself in this series of workshops about singing bowls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Be okay with however you wander through this.
Follow your bliss is what I just heard. Right? All those things that call to you, that like spark that inner fire.
Vieira. Fatima Videra. Welcome. Hello. All right.
Diane G says, thank you so much. I will follow my bliss.
And if any of you are in the Southern Hemisphere, please let us know so we can shift the language.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There is something full and ripe within. This energy of fire and illumination and passion and creativity continues into this reading. I have this thing about threes, and that while three is an energy of creativity and early development, it's still not quite known, right? The baby is still inside the mother, so to speak. So here you feel the expansiveness of all of the hard work that you have been putting into this. And there's this energy of realization that it's about to come true. It's about to happen. And so I think it's important that you continue to energize those kinds of intentions, those kinds of, like daily affirmations of this is very real. I feel this. I see myself doing this, and continue to put energy into the, whatever this is. You need to fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
How does that connect, Jonathan, for moving
Well,
forward?
I feel like it does connect pretty well because this is the Seven of Coins, Seven of Pentacles. And this is a very different Seven of Pentacles, isn't it? Because normally you see the pentacles growing on a bush, but here the guy's either digging them up or planting them. And it's not clear which one he's doing, is it? So are you in the middle of planting your seeds, or are you busy harvesting your seeds? Because it's very different, right? And going into the fall, I would feel like it's about the harvest. But are you digging things up before their time? That's the question. And the whole thing with the Three of Wands and the Seven of Coins here, it's about timing, right? Both cards are about timing. So I'm feeling like there's like this almost overarching need to like know about time, be in charge of time, not let timing get out of hand. I feel like there's like this feeling of like hurry up to wait, right? Um so this is just a reminder that sometimes, yes, it's okay just to sit and be still and watch the boats come in instead of like trying to pull them in one by yourself.
Spirit is doing something in the background,
Right.
and that can require a lot of discipline to wait, to listen, to be.
Hmm. And Fatima says, yes, I feel like something is coming to change my life, but do not know when.
Also, Jonathan, if we add 3 and 7 together, we get 10.
Then,
And so the wheel is in the process of shifting energy, yet, it's so important that you don't rush this.
mm-hmm. I
It's
just
like
keep hearing
with
patience,
the
patience.
cultivation of whatever is in that garden there. If we pull out the crop too early, it will die. It
Mm-hmm.
won't. It won't. It won't be what it was meant to be.
Right.
Let nature take its course.
And Fatima says that it does resonate. Thank you, Fatima. Yeah, definitely this like patience, patience, patience. I just kept hearing that.
Bye, Heather.
Bye, Heather. Next, we have Ginger. I'm going to mute myself for a second.
Is that you doing the happy dance, Ginger, or is that...
Sorry, I got a weird lingering cough. When we went to California and we came back, my husband had a head cold. Somehow I escaped getting the cold, but I ended up with the cough. I don't know. Whatever. At least I didn't get the head cold.
You have had a hard time traveling. It seems like every time you come back from traveling, you've been sick, and sometimes really sick.
Oh yeah, last year, that was bad last year. COVID really took me out. I'm still recovering. So Ginger. Ginger says, yeah, he does. It's true. It's true. I know.
You know, Jonathan, I had a teacher once. I think this was my first trip to India, and she was so thorough. She had a whole regime of things that we had to take, the shift of diet, everything we had to do to prepare ourselves so our bodies were physically strong to endure the kind of trip that we were about to take. And I learned a lot from that teacher, because traveling is really hard on our physical bodies, mental, emotional, spiritual bodies. Like it's not a healthy thing to do.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I was going to say, even in my acupuncture school, they taught us that if you travel, you need to do, like, once you arrive wherever you're going to arrive, you need to start doing Qigong right away, because your energetic body can only travel as fast as you can jog, basically. So if you're on an airplane way up in the sky, traveling like hundreds of miles an hour, your energetic body can't keep up and it gets left behind. Your chi gets left behind. And when you get to where you're going, you have to start doing qigong to call your chi back to yourself, right? Because if you don't, then eventually it'll return, but it could take a lot longer, and like it has to find you again. Right. So
yeah.
Okay, Ginger, reflections on the summer here. I feel like you had to put your foot down a lot this summer. We got the Queen of Swords here, and she's got not just big boots, but with like riding spurs on there. So I feel like you've definitely had to like put your heel down and like be more assertive than you're used to. You've had to use that sort of truth to cut away the things that are false, so you can actually figure out what the core of truth really is. And I think that's part of the reason why you've had to put your foot down so much, is because you've had to do this like carving just to get to the core of whatever it is that you dealt with this summer. And I think you're over it. At this point, you're just like, okay, I don't have time for this kind of relationship anymore. So going forward, speak the truth, only the truth, nothing but the truth. So that's what I get for you there.
Nancy Sinatra.
Nancy Sinatra.
These boots were made for walking.
Yes.
What are they going to do? Okay. So, wow. Okay. You know, I'm talking about this card a lot lately because I have come to see this card in a new way. Well, not so new. I mean, isn't our interpretation of the tarot always adjusting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, another fire card. You have a very powerful energy in the Queen of Swords, who in the fall is moving into her own power, shifting into Libra season. So that was your reflection on summer. So I wonder if she's pointing forward to a particular time. And yet, in the Four of Wands, so fours create
Oh, that's weird.
safe space, stability, sacred space, homes, prisons, walls, all kinds of things. But this is a fiery four. This is a four
So your
that,
video is not on the main video anymore. I don't know if you can see that.
oh,
So I'm not sure what's going on there. Let me try removing you and adding you back in, maybe. Let me see. That work? I mean, I see you, but looks like it. Yeah, looks like you're good. Can everyone see Sadhana now?
I'm here.
It worked. They say. Yep. Okay. You're there.
Okay. All right. So where am
I don't
I?
know what StreamYard. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Okay. So what I want to say here is that we're still in creative power, wands, inspiration. And the Queen of Swords is fully aware of that sort of leadership, emperor type of energy that is connected to fours, where we create space and buildings and structures and parameters for something to grow. And that power has been an important quality that you have been embracing this summer. It's been really important to you. It's been a tool. It's been a method. It's been non-compromisable. And yet, this card suggests that it's time for a softness to support that. So Aphrodite, Venus, this feminine energy dances in the strength and the power of her masculine. And it helps that structure that you have been building to shine more brightly together with the softness and the flow of your feminine side. So this may be a personal journey. This may also be reflected in perhaps letting go a little bit of the rigidness of what you've been putting so much energy into. Venus, Aphrodite, your lunar side. That is an essential part of what it is you are building. So don't get too carried away with continuing on with the more dominant energies. Does that make sense, Jonathan?
Yeah, totally. And it goes with this whole idea of, the Virgin Queen, right? So Ben's interesting masculine, feminine, and Jonathan's queen wearing boots, masculine, feminine, right? It's the queen that I think embodies the masculine the easiest. Because she's been forced to. Right?
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
You are welcome, Ginger. Next we have Thomas, Tarot Your Way. Kathy and Jezebel. Thomas.
All right. This is for Thomas.
Aloha book Bewitch.
Okay, so we have a similar card as the first card. It's the Page of Swords. It looks like he's, or they are stepping back, taking a break, cleaning off a sword after the battle. There's some preparation here that, is it, I'm not sure, is it preparation, or I almost want to say that the cleaning up of, the winding up of a certain event has been occupying your time. So let's talk about the page and what that represents, and that energy and how this might apply. So pages have new mindsets. They have uncluttered mindsets. They are open to a variety of ways of thinking. And I wonder if this page had a new awareness of a new point of view, because remember, we're in the suit of swords, right? So this could be a new point of view, a new way to voice something, a new way to see something more clearly. And I feel like you're quite satisfied with the process. This page looks quite satisfied in what has happened. It's really unusual, because I feel more like this page isn't ready to start something, but they've come from something that they've learned deeply. And it's like they've got this look on their face, like, that was really a great experience. I'm going to take that with me. I'm going to clean off my sword, put it back in the scabbard, and I'm well prepared for the next step.
Which is interesting, because this is the next step. So I think you're going to take what you learned and move on from all those things that no longer serve you. Right? So it's like you're going to take those lessons learned to help you reach those emotional heights you haven't been able to in the past. Moving past those things that, used to entice you, but now no longer serve your higher good. So to move past. And I feel like your intuition with that crescent moon is become more of a guiding force for you because of what you learned in that first card. So by taking those lessons and moving and climbing and striving for those higher heights of emotional fulfillment, you're able to move past those things that no longer serve and that never served you in the first place.
I wonder, Thomas, if this reflection will help you to let go of a way of being when you were younger, a way of thinking when you were younger, a way of an edge to your voice that you had when you were younger.
Right.
So you go forward more free, clear.
Thank you, Sadhana. Seems right as tying up loose ends and making ready for the next opportunity wheel throws at me. LOL. Many blessings recently came for me. And then he says, my moon sign is waxing crescent phase. Huh? Okay, there's that crescent. Right? Yep, shadow work progresses for me. Okay, yeah, I could see that. This is a pretty good indication of shadow work. So, welcome, Harley. Aloha. Thank you, Thomas. I hope that helped. Next, we have Dailey.
You going first? Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, for some reason the little windows weren't like, my mouse would grab but wouldn't let go. I think I need a new computer. Sadhana. The reflection for summer for you. I have the Four of Pentacles here, right? So I feel like this summer was very much a like pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. I'm feeling like you've been very careful about your spending, about how much you spend on groceries, keeping track of your bills, income, outcome, all of that. But it's almost become like your whole world is like it's the only thing you can focus on, even though it should be in the background. Just like here, we see this woman's back, we don't see her front. So it's like you're holding all these things behind you, trying to keep it all together and not show anyone how you feel like you're struggling. That's what I get. So, and she's not even looking out the window. She's just looking at the wall between the windows. And the windows are dark. She doesn't even know what she's looking at, what she's looking for. I feel very stagnant and trapped by this picture. So I think something to reflect on right now is, where do you feel trapped? Where can you let go of stuff, right? Where can you let go of those ties to the physical that keep you trapped? What can you let go of?
What if you wandered out into the night
Mm-hmm.
and met the darkness? There's no stars there, but there's something about that figure being centered on the card. And what do you call that? When somebody has tunnel vision.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So what happens if you look into the periphery? I could almost see the eyes of like a dragon, a big creature. This is a really good card to path work into.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if I put those 3 coins down and I take the weight off my head?
Right.
And I climb over that wall and I walk out into the darkness?
Mm-hmm.
What's keeping me inside? And of course, this is all, we're all speaking in metaphors here. Magician. So the 1. Moving forward, you have a 1. There's a change of energy that is calling, connecting you to the sacred. And what I was thinking about in walking outside is that something really simple, and this could be in your own garden. I don't know what your living situation is, but sometimes this work in connecting with spirit or reconnecting with spirit can be very simple and begin in the garden. We can place a crystal on a tree in a walkway. We can hang prayer flags in the most unusual of places. I remember one time walking on a beach I don't frequent very often, and there was this huge piece of driftwood, a large tree that had been uprooted, and somebody placed prayer flags across these roots of the tree to, I don't know, honor the sacred in connection, maybe to heal the energy of the tree that had been uprooted from who knows where. But there's something here about you walking from the dark into the light and embracing ritual, embracing your magic, embracing, there's an action that is calling here. And it's going to feel new, youthful, strange. I'm not sure where I want to go with this. The cup seems to be calling to me as opposed to the other tools.
You know what I get when I'm looking at that is you said go out into the darkness and embrace the right, go out, wander into the night and meet the darkness, right? And I feel like the magician is wearing that night sky, right? Has become one with the darkness, has embraced that darkness, right? And instead of 4 things weighing you down, suddenly you have 4 tools that you use to create your own reality instead of being stuck, right? So I feel like that stuckness is a way, once you get past it, is a way for you to find those inner tools for you to work with.
All right. So, what if you create an altar to the soul you are releasing outside? What if you celebrate this loss in a way that you've never done before? Maybe this is about you learning to process grief with the ritual and the magic that surrounds you in this community that you're so closely connected to. What if this is asking you to bring something up inside of you that could inspire others as well? And I spoke the other day about wandering again, this trail I was on, and I was so taken aback by this. It was a large rock, and upon the rock were 50, 60 different little objects. There were some old faded pictures. There were little tiny figurines. Some were crystal, some were wood, some were plastic. There was bits of fabric. And it was just this place where people passed and left something. And it was so beautiful in its chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And when we are grieving, and it's not so much about letting go, but there's this in this kind of ritual, there's this simultaneous honoring and letting go. You know, we do both, and it has a real healing quality to it. We don't keep it inside, and maybe that's part of this inside thing, right? We don't keep it inside. We take it outside. And so that can also mean talking about it, sharing it, writing a letter to a mutual friend.
Right. Just doing something outside of just sitting and ruminating.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that was helpful, Dailey. We have 2 left. We've got Jezebel and Harley.
Thank you, Thomas. That's a very nice thing to say.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Thomas. That's very nice of you to say. So, Jezebel.
Jonathan and I have always had great connection, great readings.
Definitely. From day one.
I'm getting emotional. All right, Jezebel, this is for you. Reflections on summer. I feel like there's been a lot of poles and wands and crooks and sticks in these readings.
Right.
I have yet another pole. So this is my full moon card. 3 of Cups. And I think this segues really beautifully to what I was saying to Dee, in that we gather in celebration, whether it's intentionally to let go, but it also helps us to release pent up energy. There's been a few things that kind of all fit together here. So I said earlier with threes, something's not quite developed. And if I use the example of pregnancy, excuse me, if I use the example of pregnancy, the womb becomes overly full. And sorry for the graphic nature, but the body releases amniotic fluid, right? You leak a little bit. We can't be over full. We need to let go. And I'm sure I could think of a better metaphor. We need to let a little bit of air out of the balloon so it doesn't burst. And this process of letting go is the celebration. It's the gathering. It's the joy. It's the connection. It's getting together for a cup of tea with friends that, we've said is going to happen, but we need to make that happen. And there's a healing that comes with that. So I feel like over the course of this summer, gatherings have taken on a new meaning for you. And I invite you to reflect on the potency of the healing of those gatherings. And maybe looking ahead to, or really honoring what you've also let go of post gatherings. In the way that I said, this is my full moon card, and full moon celebrations and circles, and whether we do this privately or with a group, they are a completion of sorts, and yet they're also a fulfillment. So, yeah, I hope that resonates with you.
That's pretty amazing because you got the 3 of Cups and I got the 9 of Cups. So I feel like Jezebel is definitely in a very positive, happy place right now. It's a place where you can finally celebrate life despite its ups and downs, right? You know what it is to celebrate, right? You know what it means to have a full table, to have full cups for everyone sitting at your table, right? So I'm feeling like this transition, like, okay, summer is like the dancing around the maypole, right? Dancing, drinking, having a good time. And now for fall, look, we're getting ready for the harvest feasts. We're getting ready to gather together to celebrate each other. And this is just a reminder that, you know what, don't forget to celebrate yourself sometimes too. Right? You are at the head of that table. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You're at the head of your table, and you get to decide who sits with you. Right? You get to decide who is in that group of dancing maypole people. And I don't know, I'm feeling like it's like life is really good for you right now. So embrace the moment, enjoy the drinks, enjoy the fun, enjoy the food, enjoy the people, and just embrace where you are. That's what I'm getting.
There's a lot of water here. And when I think of water, I think of Swadhisthana chakra, sacral chakra, and I think of one of the primary shadows of guilt. And I just want to offer this. It may not connect, but don't feel guilty about what you've had to let go of in order to know this abundance.
Right. Makes sense. Beautiful reading. Amazing, Jezebel. And our final reading for today is Harley.
Harley's pronoun is
she, her. Harley is also known as Sonia. Aloha, Rossi. Welcome. This is the last reading, unfortunately, but welcome. Glad to see you. Oh, we get this one. So Harley, reflections on the summer here. There was a lot to celebrate. I'm feeling like there was not necessarily. I mean, this is obviously the marriage card, but it might not necessarily have been a marriage. It could have been a graduation. It could have been anniversary, something like that, like a birthday party, something. I feel like the summer was full of celebration after celebration after celebration, and it's just a reminder that it's okay to celebrate life. It's okay to celebrate where you are, even if the world around you is not exactly the way you want it to be. Celebrating what you do have, it comes back to this whole idea of you get what you focus on, right? So if you're focusing on what you don't have and what you're lacking, you get more of what you don't have and more lack. Whereas if you focus on reasons to celebrate, reasons to be grateful, the universe will continue to give you reasons to be grateful and things to celebrate. So I think that what may have been a lesson for you this summer is learning to celebrate even when everything isn't exactly the way you want it to be, right? Being happy in the moment. So that was the main message I got with that card. Oh, you're welcome, Jezebel.
Okay. I have more sticks. I have more fire. And this is I have another 9. So this is, one of the gifts of doing these group readings is often there's an energy that does flow through. And I've been trying to mention that as I see that, because even if you aren't receiving a reading and you're watching the replay, it is likely that there will be something here that you need to receive. And so your card is the 9 of Wands. And this is really, it's so important that you honor the journey that you have endured, that you have persevered, that you have affected many others along the way, and you did it. You did it. This is the fulfillment of, it could be something as powerful as life path work. Like, this is a great, great card. And while it looks like not a great card, it's one of reflection on my journey, reflection on my path. It's so important to not get caught up in the woe is me, or, why did I lose half of my leg? What did I do to deserve this? You did everything right. And you have done great work. And it's really important to honor your great work. I have been doing a deep dive this summer. I think I've done like 16, 18 episodes with Tarot Avatara on my channel. And this is a deck that is the story of Frida Kahlo through the eyes of Gabby Angus West. And this deck often skews woe is me. And if any of you know the story of Frida Kahlo, this is a very painful story. And I think it's only post-death that the spirit of Frida Kahlo could see the greatness that she offered the world. And I'm not saying it's going to take you that long to know and see your greatness, but it's really important that you do, that you honor your fire, that you honor your path. You've made it. And you've been through the ups and the downs, the excesses, and the what's the opposite of excess? The
The
the limit,
lack.
the lack.
Mhm. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I love how our cards always seem to sync up together. Thank you, Harley. Hope that was helpful. And that was the end of our readings for today. So let me get rid of those banners real quick. What do you have coming up on your channel, Sadhana?
I just don't have enough days in the week and hours in the week to do everything I want to do.
Right.
It's crazy. Like, I have so much content planned, and I just can't schedule it all in. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
carry on with this. So I've created a tarot journal, and it's not published yet, but I have a print form that I've used these images in as my mock one. So that needs to get finished, and the what do you call it, like the neutral version of it needs to get published. So that's coming up, but this deep dive will continue. And I suppose that the next new thing is that I'm going to do a more of a podcast style series. And I'm going to start with Legend, the Arthurian Tarot, and narrate the short version of the legends that are in the guidebook and talk about how these legends apply to perhaps deeper meanings of the cards, but also weave together. Like, I'm going to start with the Ace of Cups, because the Ace of Cups is really the essence of the Arthurian tale.
Right.
And
Grail.
so rather than going through this series from A to Z, I'm going to go through it in a way that weaves a story. So that's something that I'm working on, and I've said I'm going to do for a long time, but it's this close to starting.
This close. Okay. Yeah, I'm in a similar boat where I've been wanting to do like, I don't know, YouTube lives or even like a class about using the tarot specifically for past life healing and past life work, and same, like that close to having it all pulled together. So keep an eye on my channel for past life stuff. Keep an eye on Sadhana's channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like and hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live. Thank you everyone for being here. This has been amazing. And yeah, please come back in the comments and tell me, do you have this deck? Do you play with the deck? What do you think of it? What kind of readings do you like using the deck for? Is there any particular oracles you like maybe possibly pairing up with it? So yeah, let me know what you think. And thank you everyone for being here. Until next time, let me find my little video again. Then we will be out here. Aloha. Thank you so much. And thank you, Sadhana, for being here.
My pleasure.